Today I have 7 cordless vacuums. I have the Dyson outsize, I have the V11, the V8, this is the Samsung Jet 75, this is the Shark Rocket, the blue, the red, also the Shark, and then the Levoy cordless. I'm gonna go through all the functions and features to see which one is best for you. So starting with all the Dysons, you have this trigger right here that you can pull to turn it on, and you have to hold it in order to function. The other ones where you don't have to hold it, these you have to hold. And when you turn it on, you see a screen comes on. It has an auto mode, it has a eco mode, and it has a high power mode, boost mode. These two have the same thing, but for the Dyson V8, this does not. This only has 2 speeds, the low speed and then the max speed. And there's no display here at all. But the same trigger mechanism where you gotta hold it in order to use it. Next with the Samsung, this one you do not have to hold, but there is a place for your finger to come on here. But you just click on the button, it turns on, you can up the speed or lower the speed. In order to use wet, I think you need a special attachment, but that is not available for the regular vacuum set. Next, we have the 2 Sharks. They are basically the same. The first one is just for the bare floor, and the second one is for carpets. What that does, basically, the bare floor, you're not going to get as much spinning of the rollers, and for the carpet, it'll ramp up the rollers. You can hear it. This is the hard floor. And now I'm going to go into carpet. I'm sure you heard, but the rollers in the roller sped up more when I went to the carpet mode. And when you want max power, because this one is not just, this is similar to the Dyson where you have to hold it down here for max power. You can hear it ramping up. So you don't have to hold for the regular power, but you do have to hold for the max. And lastly, for the Levoy, you just click and it turns on. You don't have to hold anything. You see the power right there, and you click on this to increase the power, but you don't know which mode you're on right now. But when you turn it on, it always goes to the lowest. So you click it again. That is the second mode, and that is the highest mode. But while it's on, you never know which mode it is on. It's a little bit inconvenient, but not too bad. Next, we'll look at the battery. The battery for the outsize and the V11 is the same capacity, and they can both be taken out by a red button right here. Click it, and it comes on off. But for the Dyson V8, it is not reloadable. It is not. It does not come out. There is no buttons for it to actually come out. You may be able to unscrew some stuff to get the battery out, but yeah, it is not made to be detachable, so not as good. For the Samsung, you do are able to detach the battery when clicking right here and it's sliding off. But the one thing that you do have to notice is there is no plug for battery. You have to have a wall mount in order to slide in and charge it this way. Whereas regular, all the other vacuums, there's a plug where you can just plug it in. Now for the 2 Sharks, the Shark Rocket does not have any detachable battery right here. Again, you can maybe screw it to get it off, but it's not meant to be taken off. Whereas the red, you can take this off with a button right in here. Click it, and there you go. Replace the batteries, have an extra one to increase battery time. Very good. And lastly, the Levoy, and you can also take out the battery down here. You just click on it, and it pops on off. Just like that, very easy. And now moving into the roller head, I'm sure you can see this is all the roller head, and one thing you will notice is that the Dyson outsize has the widest roller head, the wideness by far out of all of them. And what that means is you can cover more ground, use less passes, you can so you don't have to vacuum as many times but still cover a lot of the floor. And when we look inside the head, I don't know if you can see, but you can see kind of ridges, these like plastic ridges. That's meant for hair. So it's going to catch the hair and kind of detangle the hair while it kind of wraps around, try to wrap around itself. So all the Dysons do have this function, but the Samsung, the Sharks do not. But the Levoy does. It's kind of hard to see, but you see some grooves in there. You see, I don't know if you can see, there are grooves in there that was meant for the hair. It's not as good as the Dysons, but it's still there and it's pretty good. So as far as the actual bristles itself, this has the softer one and also harder one. So soft is good for hard floor, the harder one's good for carpet. Same thing with the other Dyson models. Whereas this one, the Samsung only has a soft brush. And the Shark Rocket has the toughest and hardest brush out of all the vacuums here. So this is going to be great for carpets and really getting in there. Whereas the other Shark has a soft bristle and this kind of flap, which is good for hard floors. And for the Lavoie, it only has flaps, no brushes. So, a little one brush every once in a while. Yeah, for the whole head, it only has one brush. So this is probably more better for hard floors. The last thing to note with the Dyson outsides that the other Dysons don't have is an adjustable gate right here. And you can see if you turn it mid-size a little bit and turn it all the way, it's going to be all the way up. And what this does is allow you to suck up larger debris without sacrificing power. And when you don't have any large debris, you slam it all the way shut so you get a really good suction. And lastly, we'll go over the mobility of the joints to see how easy it is to use the vacuum. Because for example, for the Dyson, because it has a ball, it can basically go all the way to the ground, basically like 180 mobility. Whereas something with the Shark right here, if I try the same thing, that's as far as it goes. It doesn't go, I mean, it can go lower, but then I'm lifting the head up with it, see? So the mobility is not as good for the Sharks. Now for the Samsung is also pretty good. It can go all the way to the floor, side to side. So Samsung has great mobility. Whereas the Lavoie, again, same with the Shark, probably even less mobility than the Shark. As you can see right here, it doesn't get nearly as far to the left or right. So I hope I helped you make your decision on which one you think would be best for you.